fix one mistake, we create a new one, and that sometimes happens, and it may seem frustrating, but that is the nature of it. But if we actually follow through and make the changes, we will end up with a piece that sounds quite nice. So let's see what else we can do. Um, so I'm now thinking that maybe I want to change the harmony in general. Um, and so maybe I will not have a 5 chord or a 5/7. The 5 in root as a triad didn't work out, the 5/7 didn't work out. So I'm now thinking of another solution. And that is, maybe we can include a pedal 6/4 chord as a 2/6/4, and those second version triads I write in parentheses because they have lost their harmonic function. The only problem is that, of course, I don't want to go from 4 to 6. That would be considered a retrogression. So perhaps we can change this, going from 6 to 4/6, which means we have to also change this chord. So this is now supposed to become an A chord, A, C, but it cannot because of the F. So then maybe the pedal 6/4 will not work. Now from 4 I could go to 1 if the 1 is in first inversion, to weaken it, to weaken the harmonic appearance. In this case I want to weaken the harmonic appearance on purpose by putting it in first inversion, because we are coming from another predominant chord. Normally when we go to a tonic chord we want to resolve to it from a dominant functioning chord. So if we don't come from a dominant functioning chord, if we come from a predominant, we want to weaken the tonic by putting it in first inversion. But now that either will be a relatively large leap up or a very low note for our bass, and we have to be wary, and we have to watch out that it can actually be sung by our choir. That means we have to have basses that can reach the low E. We were already worried about the F, but it's only a half step off. For now, I will allow it. I personally can sing it, but not all, let's say, high school choir basses can sing the low E. So if we keep the C here in the same voice, then we have C, E, G, and we can go the shortest distance here. Now we go to 6, A, C, E, and we can go up here, that's the shortest distance, and we create a common tone to our D chord, D, F, A, doubling the fifth of the chord. And that way we got rid of our parallel octaves that we encountered here. So we actually had to go back 2 chords in order to fix that one mistake. So now, since I changed this chord, I go a step back with our error detection, and I will again do the error detection through whatever we have written so far. So we have octave, we created another parallel octaves. So that of course is unacceptable. Um, and I might do a little trick in this case by including eighth notes that stay within the harmony, the F harmony, F, A. So very briefly, the A is doubled, which we should try to avoid, but it's on the second eighth note, but we get rid of the parallels. So we have octave, we have sixth, we have octave in contrary motion, fifth, sixth, octave, sixth, fifth, sixth, soprano, tenor, fourth, fifth, third, fifth, fourth, third, third. Soprano bass has not changed, so tenor alto, fourth, sixth, fifth, sixth, fifth, sixth, sixth, fifth. And alto bass, sixth, octave, third, octave and third, octave, well, two octaves technically, third, 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 fifth, in contrary motion. Very nice so far. Third, sixth, third, sixth, fifth, fifth, but those are repeated notes. That's not considered a parallel fifth, so they are repeated. Octave. So it sounds, it looks good, and I will grab the chair. It's easier to play. So I will play so far what we have written. I made a mistake. And then we have three more chords to go, so it sounds quite nice. Now we want to create seven half diminished sevenths, so that would be B, D, F, A. We have B, we have D, we need an F. I go with the closest step here, and we want to have an A. The A is the seventh of the chord, must resolve down to G if that works out. So B, D, F, A. This is a G chord, G, G, B. D can be omitted, the fifth, and F is the seventh of the chord, must resolve down by step. And then we have C, C, E, G. And I said earlier, the last chord could triple the root and have 1/3 and omit the fifth, but in this case, The fifth was already here, so we'll just keep it in the same voice. If we now do the error detection, then we have sixth, ninth, and a sixth, third, fourth, octave, fourth. Soprano bass we had done at the beginning, fifth, sixth, seventh, and sixth, fifth, fifth, but these are unequal fifths. This is a perfect fifth, this is a diminished fifth, remains repeated and resolves inward, so it's resolved properly to the third. And finally, octave, seventh, sixth, and fifth. Now, with our, while we were going through, we always spelled the chord. We made sure that we have proper doublings, or we don't have improper doublings. We identified the intervals with all voice combinations to identify any possible parallels, and if we wrote some, we changed it, and we should have now should have a piece that should sound relatively nice. So let me play it one more time. I'm arpeggiating this because it's too far apart. Yes, this is what we wrote. No, this is what we wrote. So let me play the ending one more time. I don't particularly like the 7 half diminished 7, but let me double check that we spelled it correctly. B, D, F, A, B, D, F, A. The A, the 7th, resolves down. It is spelled properly, resolved properly, from the 1 chord to the 7. Yeah, so the piano is also just a little bit out of tune. I'm not thrilled about this, but it is correct and has a little bit more tension. It actually makes it more interesting. But now we have a piece that is error-free. It took us a very long time to do, and it does. But we end up with a good piece of music because we replicate the sound aesthetics of the time of the late Baroque period by applying the same rules, and the rules were derived from existing music. So if we apply these rules, these avoidances of parallels or wrong doublings and so on, by doing a systematic error detection, then we get to a piece that basically at that time would also be would have been considered acceptable in terms of the sonority, in terms of the sound. So the most important thing in part writing is to do the systematic error detection, to check the spellings of chords, to check doublings, and to check all voice combinations in terms of the intervals, because that way we can identify parallels, and if we found some, we can fix them.